Hi Libra. This is your reading for the collective of Libra for the month of April 2025. I'm Heather Dawn. This is Heather Dawn Tarot. Thank you so much for being here. We are starting the new astrological year. We have started the new year with that spring equinox that took place on the 20th of March. And I am posting this right before the Aries new moon solar eclipse that's happening on March 29th. So that new moon is just going to really amplify new beginnings as long as you step aside and allow it to happen. Now, the full moon, the previous full moon that we had, really was asking for a lot of closure through clarity. And so we are in Venus and Mercury retrograde. There's a lot happening around just reevaluating how much you have changed, over the past 8 years when it has to do with love and finances, and the past 8 years with the configuration of which Venus retrograde is passing through and will emerge fully on April 12th, direct, and then by the time she gets to May, she'll be completely out of shadow. And I think Mercury goes direct on April 7th, so I believe that's correct. But during this retrograde period, which we are still in for the first week or so, well, really first week for Mercury retrograde and the first 2 weeks of April for Venus retrograde, we're still just fine-tuning how much we have released over the last 8 years around very old scripts in the shadow realms around love and money, and how much you have changed since then, what you have let go of, what was really a difficult cycle of release, and bringing you to a deep understanding of what you truly want in those realms, and how now in April there's this insight that's happening for all of us on what we are calling in that is very different than we've ever known in our lifetime. We are starting a major cycle of new beginnings. There's Olivine in the background. But yeah, here we go. We are, I hope this new moon solar eclipse in Aries is a huge starting point for you. A rebirth. It is the rebirth, the doorway, the portal to the year of the Fool, which that is what I have named 2025. And by 2025, I mean it started last week on March 20th with the spring equinox and carries us all the way until 2026 as we wrap up the year right before the next spring equinox. This is eclipse season. There are massive shifts happening. I'm sure you feel it. And I think these shifts do have to do around our identity, especially in love and finances, but just overall, like what are we trying to create now? What are you trying to create now? And then this is the first eclipse season of 2025. We will have another in September. And that is going to be kind of like the bookend to what this first eclipse season that we just are navigating through over the next 6 months. What's going to happen as this new doorway opens in April? What is it going to look like in September for you? All right, so Aries, no, this is Aries season. This is a reading for Libra. Let's see, this is not the deck that I want. Let's see what cards come out for you. What is your focus? What might come up for you in April? Two of Wands, that is the card of the doorway. Yeah, this is so the Ace of Wands, the card previous to this, is when you get a divine initiation in and it's an independent divine initiation. So it's like deeply internal, deeply self-reflected. I know what I want to do now. Now, it's the seed of an idea of passion. It could just like it's not like knowing all the details, but it is like, I know what I want to do. I don't know exactly what the steps are or how to get there, but I know, like, I know how I want to start a new beginning in my life, or I know like what I'm going toward. The two of wands is when you start taking action to create a doorway for that. So yeah, April, creating the doorway, taking some action to make your next new, bright, beautiful, unthinkable, quote unquote, foolish new life. How do you make it possible? What steps, tiny steps, do you need to take to make that happen? What is the doorway? One small thing. Well, it could be one big thing, but it's one action at a time on how to make yourself brand new. 8 of Cups. That is my, I call this the ghosting card, but this is like, you are, well, lots of messages with this for you in April. First and foremost, this is actually like, this is you truly walking away and going in a completely different direction in an emotional context from all the things that just, it's like they just don't, it's just not you. You've done it for a long time. This is an 8. This is a very long cycle of like, oh, this brought me joy. This brought me joy. This could also be just a ton of cups that you've offered so many people without putting yourself first. The 8 of Cups is such a beautiful energy. I mean, I do call it the ghosting card, but I mean that in the context, especially with your reading of, there's no drama here. You are making quiet, graceful, respectful exits from things. It's like you just release them. You're not struggling to release. You're not making a big scene. You're not like having it out with someone, and no, you're just like choosing to be very non-confrontational, gentle, loving, and you're just quietly exiting the room. It's kind of like when people like leave a party and no one knows that they left. It's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to spend all this time saying goodbye to like 50 people when I can just leave and I'll just send a text later, There's no disrespect in the 8 of Cups. It's actually a ton. It's like two things. It's no disrespect for other people because you're being non-confrontational in an aggressive way, and you're being very self-respectful. So this is what creating the doorway looks like for you. And we have the moon. The moon. I get a couple messages with this. The first most important message for the moon is there's so much that you don't know. There's so much mystery in this new life for you. You know that there's something new coming. You know that you want the new life, but it's like, and you're going to have the new life, but it's like, there's just like this huge looming big unknown. And this is also a message of, the moon is a very intuitive card. This is my personal card for Cancer in the tarot. So Cancer season may be very important to you. Also, I feel like this eclipse cycle and truly, honestly, like the next eclipse cycle by September, you're gonna have a ton of answers. But yeah, there's just like, it's just kind of like the big looming unknown. And it also feels like the moon can be very lonely and emotional for sure. So, this kind of feels like a little bit of grief, but it's not grief in that it's like devastating. It's more just like an acceptance of grief. Okay, I'm going to pull some more cards. So for the 2 of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups with 2 of Wands. Protect your heart. Protect your heart. And I don't necessarily even mean that in a romantic way. I mean that I'll show you to her. I'll show her to you and you to her. This is the Queen of Wands. She has she's sitting on her passion, that red cloth. She has a huge, ornate, beautiful golden chalice, right? She has so much love to give, but look at her cup. It also has like claws on the side and a lid on top. This is the only card in the tarot with a cup that has a lid on the top. This doorway that you are going to take action to create and start to walk through. You're going to stand in the doorway and look through to the other side and embrace the unknowns of it all, and embrace like the emotionality of it all. The advice here is protect your heart. Protect, it's like you don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to actually do anything huge right now. Like I do feel that there is a need to not tell everyone all of your plans. The Queen of Cups is someone who she's very selective on who she shares her secrets with. She's also very particular about who she trusts and lets into her internal intimate world. So yeah, protect yourself, protect your dreams, protect your passion. It's not time to share it with everyone, and not everyone needs to know everything. The Eight of Cups is the Ace of Pentacles. This is, and so the Eight of Cups is that leaving gently things behind, and the Ace of Pentacles, that's a connection, that's a new start, but a connection with money. So Ace of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups. It's like walking away from, this feels like walking away from a lot of really deep connections that you've had towards something new. Again, he's walking away from the Eight of Cups. He also, I'll show you this card. He's also walking away under the moonlight in the dark. So there is a deep connection here with the moon in this card. And what this is telling me is like, hold everything sacred right now in the month of April. Hold it sacred. You have something very big on the horizon, but there's just so much unknown about it. And with the moon too, it's like there's also this element of like things are going to be revealed to you that you did not know that will be very helpful. But it's not happening right now, right? You have a brand new start in money. And it involves you leaving behind something. Well, I say money. So the Ace of Pentacles, that could be money, but it's definitely like a sense of safety and security. We attach the pentacles to, money, career, anything in our life that gives us a sense of safety and security. It's kind of like you're leaving behind. This feels like 8 years, girl. Boy. I always say girl. That this feels like 8 years. Yeah, the last 8 years of like exactly what I was speaking about at the beginning. Just this Venus cycle, the last 8 years has been all in the shadow realms of money and love. And it's been like this fine tuning through a lot of shadow work, through a lot of pain and loss and just frustrations and misunderstandings and connections that weren't healthy, and loss of loved ones and loss of friendships, and just all of this alchemizing emotional fire in Venus in that evening star placement, where she is now about to switch into the morning star placement fully in power in May. And so it's, and I really do think by Cancer season, you're going to have some kind of understanding of how the shift is happening. But for now, it really feels like you have something very new that you're about to do in April. It involves work, probably. It involves security or money. It's a beginning. It's something very fresh, and it does coincide with like the closing of a door of the last 8 years into the next 8 years, where you get to work in the light. You get to work in the morning star realms of Venus. You get to bring in a totally different type of relationship or way of making money or type of career that you've never known. That's why, I mean, you are different now. The last 8 years has changed you. Um, it has really made you into the Queen of Cups, who is this beautiful, loving woman who knows herself, who knows her worth, who loves herself, who understands how valuable she is. This tells me like you know this, but you may have not found your people or your person, or you may be you're just looking for something new. So protect it. Protect it. It's like you haven't fully, you're just now creating the doorway in April for this new journey. Every time I say doorway in these videos, I see my golden door, and that's about this right here. This golden doorway, that's what you're about to walk through. Or, you're going to recognize it and set it up and draw it into form with your intentions, and intentions set by all of the work from the last 8 years. The intensity of that, you get to create this golden new doorway now. And yeah, you're about to walk through it, and you have to, it's like you have to protect your heart, because you're not fully on the other side yet. You're not in this new life yet. When you get there, you're going to be so glad that you were the Queen of Cups, which is like, not just anybody gets access to me anymore. I only give access to people who treasure me, who see my worth. And that's what we're all bringing in. Damn, look at this. The next card for the moon is this Ace of Wands. I was talking about this Ace of Wands. You know, like the essence of where you're going. You can feel it. You can, and you're initiating it. You are initiating it. You're like taking some kind of action. This because you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. This is kind of, with the aces, this is all about you. And we're in Aries season, which is the sign of the self. Like this is all about you now. It feels a lot like your life has been especially the last 8 years, has been all about taking care of other people, all about setting tables and giving love and taking care of people. I mean, you had moments in there where you were caring for yourself too, but now it's time for you to gently walk away from all of that, to embrace a new beginning that has to do with your life's purpose, your work. The Ace of Wands is passion, something that you just really love. Like if you're doing stuff now that you don't really love, that those days they're about to end. It is very dependent upon you creating this doorway for your life and trusting that the thing with the moon card, and she is in the center, I have placed her in the center. The thing with the moon card is there's so much trust involved because it's really dark. It's like you can't see. It's so easy to allow the dark to frighten you. I mean, you think about being outside under the moon, and it's like you can't see everything, right? It's eerie. It's exciting too. It's like there's no other magical realm like it. And all of your senses are extremely heightened. You hear a noise, you're like, oh, it's the creatures of the night come out. It's like it's a very mystical, magical environment, but you can't see what's in front of you. This combination of cards is telling me, like, take the next step. Just keep taking action one step at a time. You're not going to see anything except that. You're only going to see the next step in front of you. So trust, and protect your heart. Like when I say protect your heart, I mean like you are saving your heart for only the right things. And with the moon here, you know what's right by your emotions and your gut. This is the card of intuition. The moon is all about intuitive knowing. All right, let's get a card that's kind of going to encompass this cluster of cards. Queen of Wands, look at her. I love her. This is you are about to be the royalty of your own existence. You are Queen of Wands. She shows up when it's like, it's go time. This is my life. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to be fiery and passionate. This involves a lot of, look at all this red. The Queen of Wands is the most like, she's like the sexiest queen. She just like oozes passion wherever she goes. She has such a zest for life. She's holding her wand. I mean, wands are your thing right now. And wands, it's like, you know, I mean, you think of Harry Potter, you think of you think of wand magic. You get to create your life. It takes it's asking you to do one step at a time, to not, you have to trust you're not going to see like the long stretch before you. You're only going to see one step in front of you at a time, and beautiful things are coming because you are in your power. Queen of Wands is divine feminine energy. She loves nature, she loves animals, she loves creativity, she loves freedom, she loves it's like being outside. Like if she were outside, she'd be outside naked under the moon in a waterfall singing with like fireflies all around her. That's who you are about to embody. You got to create the golden doorway. I think you will in April. You got to initiate something, and it does require a little bit of money, and there is some kind of new work opportunity coming to you that has a lot of passion involved with it. Okay, let's get a shadow card for you. I didn't even shuffle, but I saw this card. I'm going to pull another card too, but I did see the Ace of Pentacles. Shadow work around the Ace of Pentacles. This is money worries. This is worried about your finances, okay? Or worried about how everything's going to work out in the realm of safety, money, career, right? I do see you leaving something behind in career and going towards something totally new. And I think that for this to be your shadow card, one of your shadow cards, I'm going to pull another, but for this to show up, that's telling me like that's kind of what's going to get your most attention in April, what you're going to have to really work through. This is kind of what you're butting up against, is this new beginning that has to do with finances, because this is a different way of doing things for you. One more shadow card, this one, Seven of Swords, self-deceit. This card can mean a couple of different things. It can mean, it is the card of deceit, but it's deceit in the name of protection. Sometimes that can mean that, you know, there's someone around you like that. I am not getting that with this vibe at all. I'm getting that this is self-deceit. So you got to be careful on what you're telling yourself. Don't let your shadow work is to not let, when those fears come up, when those doubts come up, when those worries start talking to you, you can be like, I hear you. And you've kept me safe. You've kept me safe, but you've also kept me at home alone and really small. And that's not who you are anymore. It is time to do something new. Trust that everything is going to work out. And trust that even if you can't see the big picture result, all you got to do is focus on one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. Yeah, you're the Queen of Wands. Just say it. Say, I am the Queen of Wands. I am the Queen of Wands. I create my passion. Okay? One step at a time. All right, Libra. This has been such a beautiful reading. I'm excited for you. If you ever want a personal reading with me, I do virtual, and I also do in person in Nashville. So the way to book is in the box below, and I wish you the most beautiful April that you could possibly have. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be, might be a little emotional, and it might have some triggers of fear around finances, but talk yourself through it. Tell yourself, I am the Queen of Wands. I can create anything that I want. I have the power to create magic in my life. I have the power to call in opportunities of abundance and bliss in my life. I don't have to see the final outcome. I am in the present moment and I am creating my powerful life one step at a time. Love you.